There are moments in life when the universe whispers to us through the unseen. We feel a sudden pull, a strange synchronicity, or a repeated sign that feels more than coincidence. Have you ever felt as if another version of you, one who has walked a different path, is reaching out? This is no accident. This is guidance. This is alignment. Recurring dreams and visions are not random fragments of the mind. They are deeply significant messages that your inner self, or even a parallel version of you, is trying to communicate. Have you ever awakened from a dream that felt so vivid, so real, that it lingered with you long after your eyes opened? It may have felt as though it carried a meaning you could not quite grasp, a whisper from another reality. These dreams are more than nighttime stories. They are bridges between dimensions of your being, reaching across time and space to guide you. When you find yourself experiencing the same dream repeatedly, it is not just a coincidence. This is the universe's way of drawing your attention to something important, a parallel version of you, one who has made different choices, walked down different roads, or embraced a different path, might be trying to show you the lessons they have learned. Perhaps in another realm, you are living a life filled with wisdom that your current self is still seeking to understand. The recurring dream becomes the messenger, carrying insights across the invisible veil. Pay attention to the details in these dreams, because every symbol has meaning. The places you visit in your sleep, the people who appear, even the emotions you feel, they are not arbitrary. They are part of the message. Maybe you dream of standing before a closed door night after night. That door may represent an opportunity you are afraid to open in your waking life. Or perhaps you see yourself flying freely across wide, open skies, reminding you that the limits you feel are only illusions. These visions are not there to confuse you. They are there to awaken you. The more you resist or ignore recurring dreams, the more persistent they become. This is because a parallel version of you is trying to ensure the message is received. They might have walked through the very struggles you are experiencing now. They may have overcome the pain you feel today, and they know the way forward. Through dreams, they send you glimpses, hoping you will recognize their wisdom and apply it. When you open your heart to this possibility, your dreams stop being just dreams. They become conversations between timelines. Sometimes recurring dreams can also carry healing energy. For example, you may meet someone in a dream who comforts you, forgives you, or offers you love that you have been longing for. This is not always a memory from this life. It can be the compassion of a version of you who has already healed the wounds you are still tending. They remind you that wholeness is possible, that peace is already within reach. By embracing these dreams and reflecting on them upon waking, you invite that healing into your present reality. If you wish to deepen your connection with these messages, create a practice around your dreams. Before sleeping, set an intention. I am open to the wisdom that comes to me through my dreams. I welcome guidance from every version of my being. Keep a journal by your bed, and as soon as you wake, write down everything you remember. Over time, patterns will emerge. You will start to notice that the same themes, symbols, or feelings return again and again, forming a thread that leads you to understanding. That is how the message becomes clear. Recurring dreams and visions are also a sign of spiritual awakening. They appear more often when you are on the edge of transformation, when your life is preparing to shift in a significant way. Perhaps you are standing at a crossroads in your relationships, your career, or your personal growth. These dreams serve as signposts, nudging you toward the path that aligns with your highest potential. They remind you that the universe, and every version of you within it, wants you to thrive. There is no need to fear these dreams. even when they are intense or unsettling. They are not punishments, they are invitations. They call you to look closer, to listen deeper, to awaken to the truth that you are far more expansive than the life you currently see. Each dream is a doorway, and behind it is wisdom that has been waiting patiently for you to open it. So the next time you wake up with that familiar dream cawing in your mind, do not dismiss it. Pause. Feel it. Ask yourself, what part of me is speaking? What lesson am I being shown? Allow the answers to unfold gently. Over time, you will find that these recurring dreams are not random at all. They are part of a divine conversation between all the versions of you that exist, guiding you to become the fullest, most awakened expression of yourself. Sudden emotional waves often come like a tide you didn't expect, rising overwhelming and leaving you wondering why you feel so much so suddenly. One moment you are calm and collected, and in the next a rush of sadness, joy, longing, or even anxiety washes over you with no clear reason attached. This is not always about what is happening in your current environment. At times, these waves are messages. They are gentle taps on your heart from a parallel version of you, one who is living, feeling, and experiencing something connected to your soul's journey. Emotions are energy in motion. They do not always originate from the obvious events around you. Sometimes they are signals carrying a vibration that resonates across dimensions. Imagine that in another reality, a version of you is standing at a great turning point, choosing courage over fear, love over doubt, or truth over silence. The ripple of that moment reaches you here, where you sit now, and you feel it before your mind can explain it. That wave of emotion is a connection, a reminder that you are part of something much larger than this moment. When you experience sudden emotional waves, the first instinct may be to suppress them or question them harshly. But what if instead you became curious? What if you allowed the feeling to simply exist, to flow through you and asked gently, what are you showing me? What truth wants to surface through this? By doing this, you create space for the message to be heard. These waves do not come to harm you. They come to awaken you, to stir something in your consciousness that has been waiting to rise. Sometimes these emotions are a form of preparation. They arrive before life changes, before decisions are made, before paths open. A parallel version of you, already standing in that future, may be sending back the essence of what they have learned or felt. For example, you might feel an unexplained wave of relief, as if a burden has lifted, even when nothing in your current world has changed yet. That is the echo of a moment where things have already worked out elsewhere. It is a way of saying, have faith. The shift is already happening. On other occasions, these waves may feel heavy, grief, melancholy, or unease with no source. This, too, has its purpose. It could be a signal that there is something you have yet to release, an old story of fear, a regret that belongs to you, or perhaps to another version of you, waiting to be healed through your awareness. When you allow yourself to feel it without resistance, you create a bridge of compassion between these versions of yourself. You are not just healing your present, you are healing the whole web of your existence. One of the most powerful ways to navigate these emotional waves is through presence. Rather than distracting yourself or pushing the feeling away, pause. Breathe. Place your hand over your heart and say, I welcome this feeling. I trust that it is here to guide me. This soft approach shifts the energy from resistance to receptivity. In that openness, insights often come. A memory rises, an idea forms, a decision feels clear. The emotion was the messenger, and by listening, you receive the guidance it carried. These waves can also bring profound joy or excitement that seems to appear out of nowhere. You might be walking down the street or sipping tea in the quiet of your home when a sudden rush of happiness fills you. That too is a message. Somewhere, another version of you has stepped into a moment of fulfillment or breakthrough, and the vibration of that joy finds you. It is a glimpse of what is available to you when you stay aligned with your highest path. The key is not to fear these fluctuations, but to honor them as part of your journey. Life is not only about the logical and the visible. There are layers of connection that go beyond what the eyes can see. Every sudden wave, whether heavy or light, is a sign that energy is moving, that timelines are weaving, that something in your soul is shifting toward greater awareness. Begin to observe when these waves occur. Do they come in stillness, around certain places or people? After you think of a decision you are hesitant to make, patterns may appear, and with them, the message becomes clearer. This is how you learn the language of your own soul. This is how you begin to trust that even unexplained emotions carry purpose. So, when the next wave rises, instead of running from it, lean in. Feel it fully, breathe through it, and listen. There is wisdom there. There is a version of you, somewhere in the vastness of existence, who is saying, I am with you. I know what you are becoming. Keep going. And as you honor these messages, you create harmony across your realities, allowing every part of you to move closer to peace, alignment, and wholeness. Powerful synchronicities are those moments in life that seem too perfectly aligned to be written off as coincidence. They are the events, meetings, numbers, and encounters that arrive at just the right time, carrying a sense of meaning that resonates deep within you. Perhaps you keep seeing the same number over and over, on clocks, receipts, or license plates, or you keep hearing the same phrase, running into the same person, or finding yourself in the exact place you needed to be without even planning it. These are not random. They are the language of the universe, and often they are the way a parallel version of you reaches out to say, pay attention. You are on the right path. When synchronicities begin to show up in your life, it is a sign that something greater is at work. They appear when you are in a state of openness, or when you are stepping closer to alignment with your true path. A parallel version of you, one who has already made the choices you are now considering, one who has already learned the lessons you are now preparing to learn, may be guiding these moments into your awareness. Each synchronicity is like a breadcrumb, leading you forward. Consider how you feel when synchronicities happen. There is a sense of awe, of wonder, of something beyond logic touching your daily life. That feeling is the key. It is an energetic nudge saying, Wes, keep going. For example, you might be thinking of making a bold change in your career, and then, out of nowhere, someone shares a story that matches exactly what you have been contemplating. Or you open a book and find a passage that answers the question you held silently in your heart. These alignments are not about luck. They are a reflection of connection. Parallel versions of you exist in other timelines, experiencing outcomes of paths you may or may not choose here. When synchronicities occur, they are often the merging points where their wisdom meets your awareness. It is their way of saying, I've walked ahead. Here's a sign to show you the way. Sometimes these signs come in waves, appearing frequently when you are in transition, and fading when you return to comfort or stagnation. This is why they are so powerful. They awaken you to the flow of life. If you want to recognize and benefit from synchronicities more deeply, the first step is to slow down and notice them. We often rush through life, dismissing these moments as coincidence. But every time you pause and acknowledge a synchronicity, you strengthen that bridge between realities. You say to the universe, I see the message. I am listening. And in response, more signs come. It becomes a dance of awareness. Numbers are one of the most common forms of synchronicity. Repeating numbers like 1111, 222, or 777 often carry specific vibrations. New beginning, spiritual awakening, or reassurance. But the meaning is also personal. A number may remind you of a special date, a loved one, or a goal you once set for yourself. When they appear, they invite you to tune into your intuition and ask, what does this mean for me right now? That moment of inquiry opens the door for the message to enter. Synchronicities also manifest through people. You might meet someone by chance who ends up changing your life. Or you reconnect with a person you had lost contact with just when their guidance or presence becomes most valuable. These meetings are often orchestrated by a deeper intelligence. The weaving of timelines. The reaching out of another version of you who already knows how much that connection matters. There is also a playful side to synchronicity. Sometimes it comes as a gentle wink from the universe, a song that plays at the exact moment you need comfort, a phrase on a billboard that answers the question you've been carrying, or a sudden encounter that shifts your mood entirely. These moments remind you that life is interactive, responsive, and far more magical than you were taught to believe. The power of synchronicity lies in its ability to build trust. Each time it happens, it whispers, you are supported. There is guidance all around you. Over time, you learn to walk more confidently, knowing that even when the path seems uncertain, signs will appear to light the way. They may not always tell you the full picture, but they give you just enough to take the next step. The more you trust these signs, the more aligned your choices become. You begin to see that nothing is truly separate. Your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and even the alternate versions of you are all connected in a vast web of possibility. Synchronicities are the points where that web touches your current reality, offering you guidance without force, direction without pressure, and confirmation without doubt. So the next time a powerful synchronicity crosses your path, pause. Smile. Feel the energy behind it. Ask yourself, what is this trying to show me? How does this align with the life I want to create? Do not overthink it. Feel it. Because often, the message is not in the details. It is in the recognition that you are never truly alone in your journey. Other versions of you, the ones who have already seen the outcome, are quietly cheering you forward through signs, symbols, and the quiet magic of perfect timing. Strong, intuitive nudges are those moments when a quiet inner voice whispers a direction, a feeling, or a knowing that seems to arise from nowhere. It is not a loud demand or a forced thought. It is subtle, almost gentle, yet it carries a weight that cannot easily be ignored. Have you ever felt the sudden urge to call someone, to take a different route home, to pause before making a decision, and later realize that this nudge led you exactly where you needed to be? That is intuition at work. And often, it is also the way a parallel version of you reaches out to guide you through the unseen threads that connect your realities. Intuition is the language of the soul. It does not speak in complicated logic or endless reasoning. It speaks in feelings, hunches, inner whispers that seem to come before your mind even has time to analyze. This is why intuitive nudges are so powerful. They bypass the noise of overthinking and deliver truth straight to your awareness. When you receive a strong intuitive nudge, it is as if a door momentarily opens between the you that is here and the you that has already walked a step ahead on the path you are meant to take. That other version of you already knows what is waiting beyond that choice, that meeting, that moment, and through intuition, they send you a signal. Many people ignore these nudges because they seem irrational or inconvenient. They ask for proof before action. They wait for all the pieces to make sense. But intuition does not work like that. It rarely gives you the full map. It only hands you the next piece. It might tell you to rest when your mind wants to push forward, or to act when your fear wants to hold back. It may guide you to say something that surprises even you, or to stay silent when every part of you wants to explain. Trusting it requires courage, because intuition often shows the truth long before reality does. You may have noticed that intuitive nudges tend to arise in moments of stillness. They come when your mind is not cluttered, when you are not desperately searching for an answer, but rather when you allow space for awareness to surface. This is why they often appear in the shower, during a quiet walk just before sleep, or in that soft space after you've let go of trying to figure it all out. In those moments, your energy aligns with the higher frequencies where all versions of you exist, and a message slips through. Sometimes, these nudges are immediate and action-oriented. You feel drawn to reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in years, and that connection opens a new door. Or you decide to take a different path home and stumble upon an opportunity you could not have planned. Other times, the nudges are about inner choices, letting go of a toxic pattern, choosing forgiveness instead of resentment, or saying yes to something that feels right even if you cannot yet explain why. In each case, that quiet voice is steering you toward your highest alignment. Strong intuitive nudges also tend to repeat if you resist them. Have you ever ignored a gut feeling only to find yourself thinking about it again and again? That is your higher self and your parallel selves insisting, listen, this matters. The more you practice following these inner signals, the stronger they become. Trust grows like a muscle. The more you use it, the more confident you become in its guidance. One of the greatest gifts of intuition is that it does not argue. It does not push or shout. It simply waits. It will never force you because it is a reflection of your free while working in harmony with your soul's wisdom. You are always free to choose the logical path, the safe path, the familiar path. But when you choose to honor intuitive nudges, you step into a flow where life begins to feel less like struggle and more like alignment. If you wish to strengthen this connection, begin to honor even the smallest nudges. Act on them without questioning every detail. Keep a journal of the moments when your intuition proved true, no matter how small. Over time, you will see the pattern that inner voice knew, even when your mind doubted. And slowly the voice becomes clearer, louder, more reliable, not because it changed, but because you finally learned how to listen. Strong intuitive nudges are also a sign that your life is intertwined with possibilities beyond what you see. A parallel version of you may have already taken the leap you are considering, already built the bridge you are afraid to cross. They know the terrain, and they send you signals like a lighthouse guiding a ship in the dark. They cannot walk the path for you, but they can light the way. So when the next nudge comes, a soft pull in your heart, a persistent thought that will not leave you, a sudden urge that feels oddly right, pause and consider. What if this is guidance? What if this is my higher self or another version of me showing me the next step? Act with courage, even in small ways. Trust that this invisible connection is real. For every time you follow your intuition, you are not only choosing the next best step, you are aligning your present with the wisdom of your infinite self. Feeling pulled to a new path is one of the most profound inner experiences you can have. It often starts subtly, an idea that lingers, a curiosity that grows, or a quiet sense that where you are now is no longer where you are meant to stay. At first, you may try to dismiss it. You tell yourself it is just a phase, just restlessness, just imagination. Yet the feeling returns again and again, like a gentle tug on your soul reminding you that something greater is waiting. This pull is not random, it is a call from the deeper layers of your existence, and often it is the influence of a parallel version of you who has already chosen that path and is reaching back to show you what is possible. This pull is different from ordinary desire. Desire is often loud and fleeting. It wants immediate satisfaction. The pull to a new path is quieter but far more persistent. It does not shout, it whispers. It does not push you with force. It guides you with a steady hand. You might notice it in the moments when you feel unfulfilled despite external success, or when the things that once excited you no longer do. It may come during times of change or after a period of stagnation, but its message is always the same: there is more for you than this. A parallel version of you may already be living in alignment with this calling. They may have stepped into the career, the relationship, the purpose, or the state of being that resonates with your higher self. Through that invisible web that connects all timelines, they send you the vibration of what that life feels like. It comes as a pull, not a fully detailed map, not a set of instructions, but a knowing that something is waiting beyond your current horizon. When you feel this pull, it is an invitation to trust without having all the answers. Many people resist this feeling because it threatens the comfort of the familiar. It asks you to consider leaving behind habits, roles, or relationships that you have outgrown. It asks you to step into the unknown, where the mind cannot guarantee outcomes. Yet the pull persists because it is not based on fear, it is based on alignment. It is the magnet of your soul, calling you toward the version of yourself you came here to become. The longer you ignore it, the heavier the restlessness becomes. The more you try to silence it, the louder it grows beneath the surface. Recognizing this pull is the first step. You may not know exactly what it means, but you feel it in your body. A stirring, a curiosity, a quiet excitement mixed with uncertainty. Pay attention to what triggers this sensation. Is it a certain subject you cannot stop reading about? A lifestyle that lights something within you? A dream you have pushed aside for years that keeps resurfacing? These are clues from your inner guidance, showing you the direction of the new path. Taking action on this pull does not always mean making drastic changes overnight. Sometimes it begins with small steps. Exploring, learning, experimenting, saying yes to opportunities that align with that feeling. Each step creates momentum, and as you move forward, the path reveals itself more clearly. A parallel version of you is already there, holding the lantern, waiting for you to walk toward the light they have already found. This pull is also a test of trust. It will not always come with external validation. People around you may not understand. They may question your choices because they cannot feel what you feel. But you are the one living this journey. You are the one receiving the signal. Trusting it does not mean abandoning everything you know. It means being willing to listen to the quiet voice within even when the world is noisy with doubt. There is a deep peace that comes when you honor this pull. It may not always lead to an easy path, but it leads to a true one. You begin to feel aligned, purposeful, alive in a way that the old path could never give you. Doors begin to open, synchronicities multiply. And your intuition strengthens because you are no longer fighting your own evolution. So, if you feel pulled to a new path, take it as a sacred sign. It is not a mistake, it is a message. Sit with it, breathe into it. Ask yourself, what is this calling me to explore? What small step can I take today to honor this feeling? You do not need to know the whole journey right now. All you need is the willingness to start walking. Somewhere in the fabric of existence, another version of you has already taken that leap and is thriving because of it. They are sending you the signal now. not to pressure you, but to remind you that more is possible, that life is not meant to be lived in quiet resignation. Follow the pull. Trust the unknown. Let it lead you to the life you were always meant to meet. Déjà vu moments are some of the most mysterious and intriguing experiences we encounter in life. They arrive suddenly, a sense that you have been in this exact moment before, felt this exact air, heard this exact words, even though you know logically it is happening for the first time. It can happen in the middle of a conversation, while walking down an unfamiliar street, or when meeting someone new who feels strangely familiar. These moments often leave you with a quiet pause, a sense of wonder, and sometimes even a shiver. They are more than just tricks of the mind. Many times they are signals, subtle flashes from the fabric of reality itself, showing you that your life is interconnected with paths you cannot see. Déjà vu may occur because a parallel version of you has already experienced this moment in another timeline. The sensation is the overlap between what they have lived and what you are now living. It is like a ripple of recognition passing through the layers of your existence. You are, in that brief second, aligned with a path that has already unfolded elsewhere, and your soul recognizes the familiarity, even if your conscious mind cannot explain it. These moments act like little checkpoints, reminders that you are closer than you think to your destined flow. When déjà vu happens, most people brush it off as something strange and move on. But what if it is an invitation to look deeper? Instead of dismissing it, pause. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What choice am I about to make? Who is with me in this moment? Often, these moments arise at significant crossroads, even if they appear ordinary on the surface. They are a quiet way of saying, pay attention. There is something here for you. Sometimes déjà vu comes with a sense of comfort, as though the universe is reassuring you that you are in the right place at the right time. You might be meeting someone who will become important in your life, and the feeling tells you, Wes, this connection matters. At other times, déjà vu can bring a sense of unease, a subtle warning that you are about to repeat a pattern or step into something familiar but not beneficial. Both are valuable because they bring awareness to the present moment, which is the only place you can truly make aligned decisions. A parallel version of you might use these moments as a form of guidance because they bypass the conscious mind. They are quick, subtle, almost dreamlike. In that flicker of recognition, you are more open, more curious, and less guarded. That is when intuition can slip through most easily. It is not about the memory of the moment. It is about the energy of the moment, the sense that you are brushing against a truth that has already unfolded elsewhere. Déjà vu also reminds you that time is not as linear as it seems. Life is not just a straight line of past and future. It is a tapestry of possibilities. When you experience déjà vu, it is like briefly stepping into the awareness that all of those threads exist simultaneously, and for an instant, they overlap. That is why it feels both familiar and surreal. One of the ways to make the most of these experiences is to slow down when they occur. Do not rush past them or laugh them away. Take a breath. Notice your surroundings. Who are you with? What thoughts were you just having? What decisions are near? This practice can reveal patterns over time. You might notice déjà appears more often when you are about to make a choice that shifts your life, or when you are aligning with something your soul has long been calling for. Sometimes these moments are also invitations to trust your path more deeply. They are like a nod from the universe saying, you are on track. Even if nothing dramatic follows, the moment itself is a gift, a reminder that life is layered with meaning. The more you recognize these signs, the more connected you begin to feel with the unseen guidance that surrounds you. If Déjà vu brings discomfort or unease, see it as a prompt to pause and reflect. It may be alerting you to slow down, to observe, or to reconsider a choice before moving forward. It does not come to frighten you. It comes to awaken your awareness. That is its gift: heightened presence, a deeper look, a chance to choose more consciously. Over time, as you become more attuned to these moments, you may find they start to weave together like threads in a larger pattern, each one a small piece of a greater picture. A conversation across timelines, a gentle signpost from another version of you saying, "I have been here before. I know what comes next." Walk carefully, or walk boldly, but walk awake. So when the next wave of Déjà vu sweeps over you, do not dismiss it as an illusion. Let it remind you that you are part of something far more expansive than your daily routine. Let it encourage you to open your eyes wider, listen more closely, and step forward with greater awareness. Because often, Déjà vu is not about the past. It is about the alignment of your present with the vast, infinite possibilities that surround you, all waiting for you to choose the path that resonates most with who you are becoming.